Hey, everybody, and welcome to another one of our YouTube Live Hangouts as we discuss the brand new, updated Coco.
Coco,
trying
sorry.
to get to it.
I was doing a tweet.
Yeah, trying to get to it. The brand new Coco trailer, which came out today. And we are, of course, joined by some special guests. We're going to get into everything. We're going to talk about the full 1 minute and 28 trailer, which we're
1 minute, 28-second trailer.
Yes, we're going to talk about that a little bit too, and the fact that it might have been a little bit shorter than the teaser trailer. We'll get into, of course, many details. I've got my, as typical, pages and pages of notes. This is 3 solid pages of things we can talk about, comments from other folks that we've seen in the forum and on Twitter. And then we're also going to talk about that vocal cast announcement, which was yesterday too. We got lots of great people in the chat. So we've got Bobby Swift fan. Wow, all right. I love it. Getting ready for Cars 3. The Chicken Turtle, Eddie, Chia, hello. James the Red Engine, Fernando, hello, everybody. This is so great. Yeah, Cars 3 is coming up soon. Okay, so let's talk to some other folks that we have with us today. In fact, both of the people that we have with us, we have had in previous Hangouts. One of them has actually been a little while. So we're excited to welcome back Mr. Jeff K. So say hello, Jeff.
Hey, how's it all going?
Fantastic. So give everybody just a quick clip as far as about your site, This Day in Pixar, and what you do with it.
Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of in the name of the site, right? I focus on mostly the history of the studio, I guess with an emphasis on the culture and the business aspects of the company. So some of the dealings it's had with Disney and their stock, their IPO, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely do some great posts, and I love the fact that you do touch on some of those the past stock reports and things like that. It's always really interesting to look back on that and where the company was and where it is now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of changes.
Yep. So, and then we are also joined by Mr. Jay Carlin, one of the fantastic Super Carlin brothers.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, excellent.
Brother.
What? You can't.
I
know. She's gonna keep doing it till you do it. So thank you for humoring her.
You're welcome.
So for many, you've been on the last several of these, but give everybody just a quick take about what you and the Super Carlin Brothers and your YouTube channel is all about.
Yeah, so I am one half of the Super Carlin Brothers with my brother Ben. We do a lot of Pixar theory stuff and like Easter egg hunting sort of thing. So we try and find the Easter eggs and then see how that connects the rest of the Pixar universe. And then we also talk a lot about like Disney and Star Wars and Marvel and Harry Potter and stuff too. But Pixar is always like our favorite thing. I'm so excited for Cars 3 and especially excited that the new Coco trailer came out. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have a gaming trailer that is newer than your existing gaming channel, I should say.
Yeah, a little bit. We've been starting to be more active on that. That's Super Carlin Gaming. We do a lot of like Pokemon and Mario Kart stuff over there, which is super fun at the office. It's just like, you guys want to play Mario Kart? Let's
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, it's a regular day, regular work day.
I love it. You guys are keeping it able to be geeky in all different areas, whether it wants to be Harry Potter or Pixar or gaming or whatever it might be.
Hey, we don't discriminate,
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, we don't either. We have like 5 or 6 Harry Potter wands around here somewhere.
Oh wait, I have my Harry Potter wand right here. Not that.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, hang on a second. Hold that back up. It went back to us as we were Googling it. Ah, yes, of course.
Does it look just like me? It's kind of appropriate for Coco because it got the skull.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Themed, and you didn't even know it.
Didn't even know.
We also have Seth Erskine's. Hey, just wanted to say, hey, you're a great, been on the forum a long time. And then got a couple other people, Disney 11 Pixar, saying, hey, brothers. So a couple other folks are welcoming you there. And then Bobby Swift fan is already giving you the, he knows, tell Jonathan, I know where the Coco theory will go.
Where Coco will fit in his
Into
Pixar
the theory. Right.
Well, I don't know yet. So
yeah, I know. He apparently knows something you don't know. And then Eddie and Ashley, welcome. Glad to have everybody here. All right, so you guys want to start talking about the trailer here and what we thought about it?
Do
Yes.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, fantastic. So the first thing I want to kind of do is go around and get everybody's first thoughts of just the trailer as well. We'll start to dig into the different sections, but just as a beginning kickoff, what were your first thoughts? And we'll start with Jeff.
Oh man, I am just so excited for this movie. It's just kind of quintessential Pixar, I think. You know, I see a lot of humor in it. I think it's going to be a very emotional film. The whole aspects of family and the family reunion and trying to, you know, find your lost family. I love the sets. The trailer, man, it's so elaborate, and the sets and everything.
Yes.
And the lighting. I know you're as big a fan of Danielle as I am, and so I'm just so excited to, that she's working on this film. And
yes,
and
we are
we'll
definitely
probably
going to. We're definitely going to talk about Danielle Feinberg and some of the lighting work that we saw in this for sure.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, I'm really pumped for it.
You definitely hit one thing that we felt as well, which is that it's quintessential Pixar. It feels like that. It has those fields when you see those big worlds like that, like it's a Monsters Inc. or a Inside Out, where it's got those expansive universes. And then, yeah, absolutely. It definitely, the emotional elements are definitely seem like they're going to ring true as well. My first reaction was that I was really happy just to see more of the skeletons, AKA his non-living family.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was really excited to see some more of that. We've only seen little snippets here and there, real quick facial shots, but we got to see them actually walking, moving around, and then talking and interacting a lot more. And then, as you mentioned, my note was that the worlds are super gorgeous.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you think back to the teaser trailer, it was a much more smaller scope, right? It was Miguel, and he was playing his guitar and watching his great grandfather, just a much smaller scope. And this is so much larger, and just really gets me excited.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Jay, what were your thoughts when you first saw this round?
Oh, I mean, I too was really happy we got to see more of just the city, and sort of like it was cool seeing like all of the bridges in a row. Like the first trailer kind of gave you the impression maybe there was this one big bridge and this was a bunch of that was neat. But the thing I was most excited about was they started to reveal a little bit like what are the rules of this world. It reminded me very much of like Inside Out in that respect. Like you don't really know how the memory orbs and stuff work, but they started showing you a few of the little details of like what life is like for the skeletons, and I'm really excited to see like how what their world is like and how like what the rules are for them in terms of interacting with the real world and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. What were your thoughts when you saw it?
Well, I loved seeing the replenishing marigold bridges.
Oh, yeah.
I liked seeing that there were so many of them, and how it wasn't shown, but it was kind of implied that those bridges like show up and they go to each cemetery where those people are buried. That's kind of how I took it, is that those marigold bridges show up once a year, because that's how like the trailer was explaining it. So I liked that they showed so many of them, where in previous ones, just like Jay, you were saying, it was just the one where you didn't know if it was just, everyone goes on this bridge and then just floats off and finds their family. But I feel like there's a bridge for each actual cemetery. And I loved seeing all the characters, the skeletal characters. And I will say, because our 3-year-old son watched a small snippet of this, he is scared of skeletons.
Yeah, he hates Halloween.
Yes, doesn't like it. They freak him out. That scares him. I like how Pixar did a really good job with the eyes, where they're not so scary.
Yep.
And they painted the skeleton faces just as they would as the decorations for Dia de los Muertos. So they actually like they kind of used it as like makeup, and they made them seem less scary. So I like that. I appreciate that, because I'm wondering if that's going to be a point for kids.
Well, because I mean, when he was watching it, he said, oh, they're not scary.
They're not scary.
He asked us like to confirm like these aren't scary, and so we were like, no, these are good. These are good skeletons. Like look, they're smiling and laughing, and
it was his family at the end.
Right.
where they were standing. Where
Right.
do you have anything to declare? And they held Miguel.
Yeah,
We're like, no.
But some of the faces, when they were screaming, going like, ah, he just wasn't sure at first. But after we kind of reassured him, he was like, okay. But normally there's no go on skeletons.
No go.
So it is nice to see that.
So those are my first thoughts on it.
For sure. So give a couple thoughts here. So Luis in the forum said, I really love the classic organized world idea presented in this film as well. Reminds me of classic Pixar. We kind of touched on that. The idea that worlds we don't really see have their own organized way of doing things is very clever. I saw this with the train stations and the fashion in which the dead people take different bridges to go visit us as well. I can also see playing into a high comedic factor or also contributing to some nice inside jokes that ghosts have. And he finalized it by saying, as a Mexican American, I can confirm that the ideology is very well realized and it looks like it will do our holiday justice. So that's obviously, with the team that Pixar has put in place to make sure that it is authentic, and the consultants and the all Latino vocal cast.
The cast, the music.
They're trying to get as many of the employees at Pixar that are from that culture to be able to work on the film. It really doesn't seem like there's a way that it can't be authentic, right?
Yeah.
Pixar's biggest fan, first impression, said the new trailer is amazing. I love the amount of variety and characters all shown within a minute and a half. Pixar's vision of the Land of the Dead is really cool, and the animation is beautiful, which of course we've just come to expect at this point.
Yeah.
But one thing that, before we start going into the trailer and breaking it down a little bit more, that I wanted to talk about was, so M. Prescott77 in the forum said that he feels that since the trailer didn't show a ton of new footage, does this mean or imply that Pixar is behind in terms of schedule at all? So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I actually think it's kind of like, I was actually thinking about this as you were talking. I can't remember the length of time the Inside Out trailers were.
Yeah, I don't recall.
I don't recall either,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's kind of similar to that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can really show too much because they don't want to show certain characters this far out. I think maybe another clip will come out on D23.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I don't think they're behind. I don't think anything like that. I just think that they can't show too much more.
Yeah, they're still trying to keep it, under wraps, I think.
Yeah.
So.
I think where the question comes in is, a couple other people have talked about it, and I kind of thought this too, is that the teaser trailer was 2 minutes and like 4 seconds, and then this one was 1 minute and 28. So that's where it probably originated from, is that we're like, wait a minute, why was the teaser trailer? You just don't typically see it being long, the teaser trailer being longer than the actual trailer.
Sure.
But yeah, as far as from everything that we've heard, again, very high level, we're not hearing those indications. So it's not to say that there isn't something that's potentially either behind or not, but we're not seeing any of those indications. So I wouldn't necessarily feel that way. Good comments that are coming in. People are just asking a general question first, based on the 2 trailers that we've seen being teaser and then this new one. Is there a villain in Coco?
That could be your scary skeleton right there.
Yeah, that would be definitely scary. But what do you guys think on that, Jay? What are your thoughts there? Is there going to be a villain in this film, or is it something else more broad?
I don't know. There's Pixar does it a lot where there's not really a villain. It's just like an obstacle, or I think there will be like an antagonistic character, but like Darla is not really the villain of Finding Nemo. Being lost is the problem. She's just sort of this big obstacle. So I would bet there's something like that.
Right.
Which I think it's his grandmother, I think, not wanting him to play guitar.
Great.
Okay, right. Yes, exactly.
Basically, the family doesn't want him to play guitar. So it's a multi-layer thing. But his great-grandmother is the one that put the ban on the music in the first place, which, from the vocal cast announcements, sounds like she'll have some involvement for sure in the Land of the Dead.
Did we get to see her? Is she the one who's like, what are you doing here?
That's an interesting question. I wondered if that was, I guess that, who would that be? Because his grandmother is the one in the, oh, is that his, wait, is that just his grandmother that's in the, we got to keep track of all
his
these.
grandmother, because I think his great-great-grandmother, isn't that Mama Coco?
Yes.
And that you can see her on the Picado banner.
Okay.
Which I'm making, which is very, very hard to make a Picado banner.
They don't look easy.
It's I think a papel. I don't speak Spanish, but a Picado banner. And I got all this tissue paper and to cut out because I'm drawing it. Oh my goodness! I haven't even told you this.
Is this what you were printing today?
I tried to print it,
Yeah.
and I didn't print, so I had to like free form draw it.
Got it.
It's coming.
So yeah, other people, Lexi James, a couple other folks are saying that, and the Pixar Freak, that's Josh. He's going to be saying that they kind of agree with what you're saying, Jay. That there's really not going to be a villain. It's going to be more of the journey. That's the struggle.
Right.
So we shall see.
Like the acceptance of being who you are, kind of thing.
Probably.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be
finding who you are and who your family is. And
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
accepting who your family is maybe.
And that's definitely going to be the
No one knows who he is. It's what
right, and that'll be the emotional side of it that you touched on, Jeff, for sure, is all the family and the meeting. But yeah, who is the one that said, what are you doing here?
That line I thought was hilarious because it's like presumably this person hasn't seen him since he's or she's died, and her first reaction isn't like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like, "What? You've done something wrong."
Yeah, Miguel, what is going on? Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Now, all of the skeletal figures, is that who they are when they pass? Or do you, when you pass, get to choose an age kind of thing?
Oh, like did
Because
they
then you
pass at
see-
that age?
Because you see in a
Yeah.
very grand
That's true.
area.
You would expect to see mostly only
older
old people.
Right. Or mostly like if you got to choose, like mostly like younger people.
Oh, for sure. It would
Yeah.
Everybody would be in their 20s.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
everyone's in their
yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, or it's probably something. It's like probably one of those refrigerator things. You're not supposed to think about it because
Yeah.
they want to show like all kinds of ages. But it's something I thought of today.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that because where would that line be? Because I did think about it at the end of the trailer. There's, I mean, I had to kind of like take myself back for a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but when they show that scene where they go into, and what did they call it here? The door, the Department of Family Reunions.
Oh,
When they bust through those doors and they see like all the families waiting there, and you've got some kind of weird bird dog thing, which I totally want to talk about.
oh, I know. Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Yeah. Yes. And then you've got like the child that like was pulling the mom's arm and turning around.
That's the image that I thought of,
Yeah, like I
because that is a
chuckled.
mother and child, mother
Right.
and son or something.
Right.
Now, I mean, it could be, but
Yeah, but I chuckled when I saw it at first because I was like, oh, look at that. Like, that's totally real. And then I was like, wait a minute. At the same point, that's kind of sad because now that means that child died.
yes.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question. Emily Rose in the chat here is saying, I thought the same thing.
Like, I'm sure it's not something that you're supposed to think of. I'm sure it's just showing different ages and different characters in the other world, because there
Right.
obviously is, but it's just something I thought of.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, we've got some other questions here. I'm going to save some of those questions, so I'm logging them in my head, guys. Don't stop asking some of them. All right, let's take a look at the trailer. Let's walk through some of the different moments from it. I'm going to start sharing that particular thing. Yeah. So let's put this here. And let me know once this plays if you guys can see this.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So we've got the intro here. It's we've seen this type of shot, especially because that Dante's lunch short starts the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see your banners that you were talking about hanging there.
Yes. Well, they're very hard to make. And here's
Bridges.
Yeah, woo, bridges. So yeah, this is
didn't we hashtag it Dorito Bridge last time?
Yes, we did.
yeah. Yeah, it's nacho cheese. We probably didn't want to say Doritos, we'll get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that is cool seeing the layers of bridges for sure that, you and Julie and Jay talked about.
So what do you think the flower petals are falling into? Like, what are they?
Oh,
I think it's into like a void. I think it's kind of, they're just replenishing because from the research and stuff that I've read, it's just the marigolds are what, drives the spirits to where they want to go. So I think they're just constantly replenishing.
yeah.
A never ending.
And then did you think that maybe after the day they kind of disappear, sort of like what was it in Inside Out that brought the train, how the train tracks kind of formed and then disappeared after the train went by?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So yeah, so like the train of thought, like the tracks, because that was one of the design things that Ralph Eggleston talked about when we were talking to him, is he said the train tracks, they were trying to build out this network, but it always just looked messy when it was there. So they built this thing where the train tracks could generate right before the train as it was coming. And then that way the train could go anywhere and you wouldn't have to worry about creating this network to look at. Same kind of thing with the bridges. They could kind of come and go and not have to interfere necessarily with anything else as you're moving around.
And I know we'll get to it in the trailer, but I really liked how they showed how when the families put food and beverages and stuff, things on the altar, the lost ones, like the family members who've lost weight, they can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it takes I liked that. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting comment. Epic Narwhal says that they don't really think this movie looks like a Pixar movie, but they can't wait to see it. Totally disagree. Sorry about that. I feel like this one does look like one. Yeah.
I mean, it's unique, right? Because it has a large focus on music, which Pixar hasn't really done before. And so I think it's very unique for them. But that's sort of their culture, is to come out with creative and unique new takes on things. So it feels Pixar to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pixar Jedi is asking how he got into the world of the dead, and we'll talk about that for sure. But as far as the look of the film, obviously, I mean, it could be that he was saying like based on the design of the characters, because the skeleton look is definitely more unique and different. So maybe that's where he was deriving that from. Let me go ahead and start sharing again here, and we'll look a little bit more at this as we go. So again, just the beautiful city there.
It actually does look like there's water around the Mayan temple looking structure.
Oh, you're right, because there's some like reflection.
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah, that's intriguing. In fact, you can see even back in here, that definitely looks like there could be water there too.
I don't know what's under the bridge. It kind of looks like it stops.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be doing the same thing. Like
yeah, because then
reflection off the bridge.
So many clouds out here.
No, look, if you look at that, maybe the second temple we can see.
Yeah.
Like you can see what looks like the water underneath like the first four.
Yeah, and then it goes away.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
You're talking about like in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, like right around there.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, that fog is amazing.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Fog is nice.
That whole city is just so amazing and so elaborate.
It's so creative. It feels like if you turned on lights or built a city in the Bug's Life anthill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like inside, they have a couple lights, but if you like built like a city, like a metropolis, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. So some other different things here. So the mist and the bridge remind me of the Golden Gate Bridge in the morning in San Francisco with all the fog. Certainly could be.
Yep.
Inspiration from that. Somebody else is a Bobby Swift fan is saying, what if Ernesto De La Cruz is actually the villain? Could be an interesting twist if that were the case.
It could be like a don't meet your heroes kind of thing.
There you go. That could be the case for sure. Okay. And then we're also going to have to talk about, because a lot of people are talking about it in the chat too. We're not going to do it right now, but about the comparison between this and Book of Life. So we're going to have to touch on that again just because it's coming up. But I'm going to start sharing here again. We're going to start rolling a little bit further. So we now come across our first Easter egg. So right down in this corner here, it's hard to see. But there is a jar right next to this skeleton with the hat on that you can see Nemo sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was found by Josh, which is, again, Pixar Freak 1 on Twitter. He pointed that out to us, so thank you for that. We had caught an Easter egg earlier as well in the day of the A113, which we'll show you after we get through this trailer. That was in the teaser, but not in this. But here we have...
And we found some in Dante's Lunch, too.
Yeah. Exactly. In the short film that was a little, it was a short. That was for this. So who do we think this is here? Is this his great grandmother? Is this his abuelita?
This is Mama Coco?
Yeah, Mama Coco, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So because that's when they did that other concept art, which had her in the wheelchair, it said that it was Mama Coco. So, okay, just making sure here. And then that would make Mama Coco his great grandmother. Okay. So see that. Oh, actually, now that I'm just seeing this real quick, let's go back. I thought I saw. Okay, yeah, it's just his head's ripped off there. I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute, is he a ghost? But you got it. Okay, so here we get to see the people visiting. So is this a even younger Miguel?
No, this is just different families.
I think it's just a different family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. But it's really kind of cool. You get to see their families enjoying them coming to visit them, which you obviously want to believe.
Oh, yeah.
That as you're, if you would come do this, that look at this, he's getting his wine, he's got his bread, he's all like, yeah, thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, I love this. Because I was wondering, I didn't pay attention to this scene earlier, but then I guess later when they're like, oh, do you have anything to declare? I was like, what would they be bringing back? But I guess this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like crossing the border.
Right.
So there goes back to your original thought, Jay. It was when you were talking about rules.
Right.
That I bet we're going to learn what can and can't come. So certain...
So there's got to be stuff that can't come. Right.
Certain things probably can't come back, like certain objects or something.
Right.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
High five.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Ooh, that's fun. I'm telling you, you always get the sneaky stuff.
But see,
or I'm way off.
It makes it sound like someone's going to try and send something that shouldn't go across, which makes it sound like sort of villainous.
Yeah.
It could be something kind of similar to, I'll just say Wreck-It Ralph, because I just watched that with our son, how Turbo kind of like got, did the rules and stuff like that. So I wonder if there's something like that.
Right.
Like similar about rules that we'll learn about what can and can't be taken. Like I bet Ernesto can't take his guitar.
Sure. Interesting.
Or would he still have it, but maybe he has a ghost version of the guitar?
I don't know. I'm starting.
Ooh, what can you bring and what can't you bring?
I'm starting to think
That's
maybe.
the best question.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
I like it.
I'm starting to think maybe he can't, and because it was strummed or something. But that's why.
So that
now we won't know until November.
I know.
So that
get ready to wait.
I think it has to tie in. The guitar has to tie into it's like, how does he even get in there? Like, how does he cross over?
It has to be something. It has to be something that made it like a portal or something.
Right.
So, because we know that it's like essentially like he strums the guitar, which we'll see coming up here in the trailer, but he strums the guitar and that does it. But if it's something that he maybe always wanted to bring to the land of the dead, and he somehow or
maybe he couldn't and he did and he snuck it in, and because he strummed it.
I like it. I love it.
But see, there's no one's allowed in his little altar thing, so they can't put stuff there for him to come back and take stuff.
So does that mean he potentially has some opportunities to come in and play it himself, and because he played a real guitar when he was dead, made it magical?
I don't know.
Wow.
Ooh. Like, that could be a thing.
Something. It's something.
Something's going on.
Yeah. Something's going on. But
What's
so
with that guitar, man?
you know how you said, like, how did he even get in there to his altar and everything?
I'm into the world of the dead, but also that.
Got it. So yeah, so they always say the marigolds lead someone to their ancestors, or they guide the dead. Isn't that part of it? Is they guide the dead as far as on their path along with the dogs. But so why were they leading to his guitar? So that's why Miguel was obviously following it. Is he's like, hey, wait a minute.
Well, Miguel wasn't following the marigolds. Miguel was going in there because he knew the guitar was in there. But
when you see him walk up to it, we'll get to it.
Yeah, there's marigolds in there,
Yeah,
but he wasn't. Miguel wasn't following those. He was going in there for a purpose. The marigolds were in there.
He wanted to use the guitar or see the guitar. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, for sure. I think that's the case. But maybe they were also like. I always
Maybe
think
he was being led there. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is like they were leading him there to be like your destiny of finding out about your family and playing music is leading you here.
I think he opened the door to the little mausoleum thing, and
you shouldn't be able to just be like.
Well, I think when he opened, obviously the guy was in there.
The security guard was there.
Yeah, so I think he opened the door and the marigolds blew in.
Okay. All right.
Stamped. That's what I think.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah.
All right. So Aiden Duncan says, I think the guitar exists in both worlds, one in the living world, one in the afterlife. So we've got lots of different twists there. I really do like the one because it made me get I got the goosebumps going on when we were all kind of like piecing it together that maybe that is a real one, but because he was dead and he touched it.
This one
that's where I'm going.
This film has a lot of little theories to think about how everything works and how it's all orchestrated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a very creative film.
I think so.
Similar to Inside Out.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Inside Out a lot,
mm-hmm.
just from what we've been able to see. But
Emily Rose says, "Little goosies." Okay, good dinosaur. Yeah, give me no little goosies. And then Captain Klepton is just pointing out for those that hadn't known it, Ernesto De La Cruz is supposedly inspired by Pedro Infante. So yeah, I believe, Jay, did you talk about that in one of your videos?
Oh no, I was talking about the other
right,
Guadalupe, whatever. The best name ever.
Yes, that's
I forget what it was now.
Darn it! Now I forgot too, and I watched it. Yeah.
Let's get back to the trailer.
Yes. Okay. Let's. Yeah, you're right.
We're
gonna keep
going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens though with these, right? All right. So let's go back to here. So we've got the friends and family that are enjoying here. So the lines here. We've got the person that's doing the dialogue here, but no living person has ever visited that world until now. Is coming up here. Also just gorgeous. I love how dark this world is. Obviously they're at a cemetery, tons of candles. Look at all of that lighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there's got to be an Easter egg in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yes, there's going to be so many of them.
Yeah.
I thought I found one in Dante's Lunch in the cemetery.
Oh, about
Joe Ramp.
Joe Ramp, right.
Oh. Yeah.
Which is in our post. All right, so yeah, he's approaching here. And by the way, how much can I say how much I love this shot of the firework coming into frame here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lighting around the guitar.
Oh. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really wish I knew who storyboarded that shot.
Yeah. The focus on the guitar, slowly pan in. Just leave it out of focus just to put the lighting in there. Just gorgeous. Okay, so we've got him walking up here. Now, I can't remember, and I meant to remember to tell myself to go back and look at this in any of the other teasers and things that we've seen, where he's walking up in this next shot, you can see the camera kind of going up and down, so it's like a handheld. Have we seen any where it does that little handheld motion?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, so check it out. So as he approaches, it goes from now it's like first person view, and all of a sudden it's going to give you a little up and down.
Oh yeah.
I just love it.
Okay, let's talk about it. Dust particles.
Oh, the lighting in this scene again,
Yes.
just with the light streaming through the windows, and there's candles again. And when they do the wide shot, you can see candles reflecting, and
Yeah.
it's just beautiful.
Okay, so all the flowers here. So now wait.
Okay, maybe they weren't just blown in because they're
Yeah,
in
because look at that. You can see
Yeah,
that trail coming
okay.
there. He walks down,
Yeah.
unstamped.
unstamped. But when he strums it, then you get that burst of energy there.
Yep.
We've got this shot that we've seen before. Sarah Robertson says that Pixar has gotten so good with the lighting. And then actually, I'm going to go back to this real quick too, because Emily Rose says how amazing Pixar has gotten, or how great the painting looks. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so he strums, we go.
It's like they are the petals are glowing even before he's like.
Yeah, they're like a flicker,
Yeah.
Like they're.
like embers in a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've seen some of these kind of backing up. We've seen this where he chases Dante over the bridge.
Now, right here,
Yeah.
nobody is reacting to Miguel.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So this makes me think that wasn't the first time. Well, it has to be the first time, but no one is reacting to seeing him. But yet in the cemetery, the graveyard, the one woman reacted.
So the other thing is they're all going the opposite direction of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? Like when later he the guy's head lands in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, do you mind?" And then he screams. Like the guy doesn't realize it's a living person right away.
Yeah, he doesn't really react to it all that much.
Like after Miguel screams, then he sort of looks at him like, "Oh my God, wait a second, you're alive."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just so unheard of that an alive person would be here that they don't even.
That is weird. It seems like no matter what, he would stand out so much.
Yeah,
Right.
well, because the lady screamed when she saw him.
But maybe that's when you're on the bridge. Maybe he's sort of invisible
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
until he gets into the city. Actually, I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, so Pixar Freak is saying maybe it's because of the dog. Like maybe because of him guiding him that way, the dog is somehow or another distracting or like making him invisible.
I don't know.
And then now Pixar Jedi is saying, what if only your family can see you?
You can't because that lady reacted, and so did that guy.
Well,
Okay.
was she part of the family?
It could be.
Oh, could be.
But that would be odd as far as like,
Yeah.
the two people right in a row as far as like, where she screams and then says, "Do you mind?"
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to stop it here. We've obviously seen this image, but I will give Jeff credit on this particular scene, so take it in for a quick second. I'm going to go back to here. But I'm going to give you credit, Jeff, because you pointed out a particular podcast that Steve May, the CTO of Pixar, the Chief Technology Officer, was on Motley Fool's podcast.
Yeah, the money podcast. Yep.
Yes, and he talked about the fact that were they comparing it to Inside Out before? Like we thought Inside Out was a tough world to create until we got to Coco.
Yeah, wasn't it that? I'm trying to remember now, and it's just how elaborate and difficult this scene was. Were they kind of talking about how in every film there's one of those scenes or a technical challenge they have to overcome?
A Yeti's cave.
Yeah. And so I think he said that this was that world. But there's more to it though. Like they didn't really know that at first, or until they really started digging into the world, how complicated and elaborate it was going to be.
Right.
So
I'm looking something up because somebody is giving us tips here that we need to look up. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna share this in just a minute here. Let me just pull up this image. This is on Travel by Mexico, and then I'm gonna pull up one more here. back to this so I can share us again. So they're saying you guys should look at the Mexican Postal Palace, as it absolutely looks like a lot of the inspiration.
Ooh,
yeah.
Totally.
Here, let me go back to that. Yeah, so there's that one.
Especially in the upcoming part of the trailer.
And a different view of it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So the Mexican
that is
Postal
cool.
Palace. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So thank you for that tip there, Fernando. And then Kanye Bedford is asking us where we got the Coco poster from the Pixar Studio store. Of course. All right, so let's do this real quick. All right, so Steve May, the CTO, talked about how complex and how much they had to put into this movie to be able to render it and work through it and everything. So
and you can
all
see
the
it like
layers,
glows.
just how depth, and all the layers of the city.
It kind of reminds me of Avatar, like Pandora.
bit.
Everything glows within.
yeah.
Like it's just like little glowing.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to die?
You're right.
Yeah.
So, okay, then this. Hello.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
love it. Yeah.
I mean, the design of this, so industrial. Obviously, a little bit of that Mexican Postal Palace.
But a little San Francisco with the trolleys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
without a doubt. You got all the ticket booths. You got people performing down on the bottom there. It looks like somebody that's like.
It looks just like a regular city.
Yeah,
Pretty
That's what I'm
much.
saying, is how natural it looks. Just
So right here, am I seeing like some type of like marionette type thing where it's got somebody on like controlling this on strings or something like that? Or is this somebody like,
And someone just
oh, they're like flipping upside down doing tricks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
But yeah, I mean, like, just how gorgeous is all this? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you can see that world outside here with all those colors that we just saw in the last shot. Now you're inside. It's just, and this is, so where was I here? So this is like in my notes. This is where I talk about just how gorgeous everything is. And this is where it gave me the thought of why I love movies that have big casts of characters and people, but also big worlds with a ton of detail. It's almost like, you remember when we watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? We were like, in the first 15 minutes, we were like, holy cow, we're totally engaged. It just had that magical feel.
Mhm.
I feel like when I was watching this, that view of that world, and especially once you get inside with the trolley and everything, I was like, it just feels magical.
It does. That's actually a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So that really, I don't know, that really excited me when I saw that for sure. Do this again. We'll wrap up going through some of the trailer and then we'll just continue to talk about it here.
There's another little like pet or like bird thing there
Oh,
too.
which one? In this last one with the trolley?
Where the trolleys are.
All right.
Like on the right hand side on like the
This?
yeah, that thing.
Yes. What are these?
I don't know. It seems like if like pets are allowed, it seems like they'd be a lot more.
Right.
You know.
So somebody is saying inside the train on the right, the purple glowing thing kind of looks like Eve. So I guess they're saying kind of like in this area.
I think it's someone's hat.
Probably.
I think it's someone's hat, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just love this. It looks like this awesome bustling town. And okay, so then we've seen this before.
Mhm.
Now this Scream, I did want to point this out, and to me this is this has got to be a Lee Unkrich thing, where he because he's into
The Shining.
suspense horror genre. The Scream that is on her, he just goes like, hers sounds like it's a straight up horror film where it's got that scratchiness to it,
Yeah.
and that like it's almost in like a metallic
And it
bathroom.
elongates her face.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that Scream was his inspiration there. Maybe not, but it's definitely a horror film. Okay, so we've got, and then we've got this guy here. Do you mind?
Love the eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird they
Yeah.
have hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they have eyes, it's not really weird to have hair.
I guess that's maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Cool designs. Okay, so then we've got this where they're rushing into Department of Family Reunions. I also love how traditional all the designs are with that marbled glass like that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That glass looks amazing.
Yes.
Pretty legit.
Yeah. We've got these guards that, why are they, is
Scratches
this,
on the brass of
yeah,
the
you
door.
can see the scratches on
Yeah.
the brass of the door. So why are they panicking here? Are they freaking out because there's a human?
Yeah, they're because Miguel's with them.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're just like, get him in, get him in, get him in.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah.
See, there's an animal.
Okay, yeah. What is this thing right
Don't know.
here with the guy that's got like the
Isn't
uppity top hat?
Isn't it the dog?
I mean,
Like
it looks like
Dante?
a dog.
It is kind of like, I don't know, yeah, it's
Isn't it like Dante? And then when they die, they're dressed like that because when we go to Disney World and we go in the Epcot, the Mexican pavilion at Epcot, they have all of those animals that are all brightly colored painted and stuff. That's what it reminds me of. That's what I think it is. I think it's a dog.
interesting. So I'm looking to
I don't know what
see
they're called, but
if anybody
I just-
knows this in the chat, let us know because I'm intrigued by this thing. Yes. So Pixar Jedi is saying, listen for the Wilhelm scream. It'll be in the movie, I'm sure, but I don't think that was it.
Yeah. You gotta love that. I just read an article about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody has a clip out there of all the times that it's been used in a Pixar film. Okay. Let me see what this is. Somebody's giving us a particular word or term here. So, oh gosh. Alberhees are brightly colored Mexican folk art structures of fantastical creatures. So let me pull up one. Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna share this real quick.
Yeah. What is that? How do you spell that?
ALEBRIJES.
It's exactly what it is. That's exactly what I've seen at Disney World.
All right, let me go ahead and do this. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
so it's definitely these types of things for
Those are the pets.
Oof.
So do you think this is what pets become instead of skeletons?
Maybe pets go somewhere else, and then if you want a pet, you just go to like a pet store on the other side and get one of these fantastical creatures.
So there he dreamed of a strange place resembling a forest. There he saw trees, animals, rocks, clouds that suddenly turned into something strange, some kind of animals, but unknown animals. So interesting. Okay. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that is very cool. Thank you for that information there. So that Leo Sosa gave us that, and then also Diego and friends. So thank you so much. Love that type of information. It's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Back to the trailer.
Yeah, let's finish up the old trailer here. And you guys can see that again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and then there's where this little boy is that I'll move my cursor here in a second, but just down here, that always, I was like, oh man, I chuckled, but then I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just a gorgeous building there too, as always.
I love the skull stained glass windows.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice touch.
Yep. So and then yeah, we've got Miguel. What is going on? And then he chimes in, "Remind me how I know you." When he sees this. Now this.
I like the twins,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
and I hope we see more of them.
So
I hope they're kind of like a tuck and roll.
yeah. So
Or like a Laurel and Hardy. Maybe they don't even talk.
Laurel and her, yeah. But I was wondering here, like, so the thing that I saw when I saw this that I was kind of bummed out about is I was like, oh great, even after life, you still can't avoid paperwork. Look at all that. Bookkeeping.
Okay, yeah. So one of the questions I had after watching this was like, does everyone have a job?
Yeah, yeah, because I kind of don't want to work.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like, why do some people are security guards, some people are working at desks and have paperwork, and there's this whole city. It's like, everyone else just seems to be living.
Yeah. Do you have to work? Are there bills?
Yeah,
oh,
right.
Please no.
Ooh, yeah.
Hopefully, it's just like record keeping so that they can unite the families when they get there, or something.
Yeah. So
You didn't file your paperwork.
yeah. Well, that'd be a great way to put in a little Easter egg there.
That would be
That'd
great.
be awesome.
So the people are saying maybe they're still shoemakers. So Israel Prado is saying maybe they're still shoemakers, cobblers, and for sure they look like they have that type of outfit on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's interesting though, because if you could, I mean, I guess this defined the family.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, if you could choose anything, maybe you would choose something different at a different age, a different outfit or whatever. But yeah, they definitely still all have on their leathers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. And then also I find it really hilarious that he's got glasses.
Yeah.
Really, I'm still going to have to wear glasses.
You will definitely.
Yeah, I know. I can't see anything.
You can't see without them.
So then this guy, he's also got food on a plate there, so they eat still too.
Well, we know that because
Yeah.
they took food from the altars.
That's true. Yeah, they were excited by the bread and everything.
Do they need to eat? It's weird.
Yeah, do they need to, or do they just like it? But I do love all the classic. Like, look at this, the old telephone over here. I like the fact that it's almost like a timepiece. Like it's like it just was like stamped at this time. This building was made at
like
some
all
point.
archival stuff.
Yeah, it feels very traditional. So this connects us all. We've seen where he has the reveal of the image here, and then she says,
yeah.
Yeah, what is this?
"Yeah, we've got to get you home." And she's presenting it to him. He takes it. It's almost as if it's another like marigold petal, but a special one.
Right, some special.
Yeah. Also, you can also see there's like no ligaments at all. They're like the hands just sort of float.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, also kind of like a cool little thing that, just throwing in the lens flare.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just a fun little touch. As he's about to touch it.
I know. He's like, well, what happens when you touch it?
Okay, so bienvenidos, everybody. I love the fact. Again, another really cool scene. You've got, like you mentioned, in the windows.
The skull.
The faces, yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
the faces.
It's like
and
the
then
glorification of things. but
yes, totally.
Nullification.
Totally. And this sign, does this totally not look like a sign that was in Monsters Incorporated
in the credits.
concept art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it also reminds me of like Ratatouille. But speaking of Monsters Incorporated, the marigold streams, like how it's like the petals have kind of gone.
Uh-huh.
People have like tracked them a little bit. That reminds me of when George Sanderson gets shaved for the first time at Monsters Incorporated. And yes, it does. And he moves his hair with his foot.
Oh, right. He pushes it outward.
He pushes it outward. And for some reason, that reminds me of that.
Right.
I like the detail that the trails of the petals only go to the re-entry side. Like they've like noticed that the departure side would obviously not have trails of petals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. So yes, so they're
That's what I was talking about, like the trails of the petals.
Yeah, so they're coming back into their city. So is it essentially they're going out? Wait a minute. Wait. Do these bridges only form on the Day of the Dead?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what we've been talking about.
Did I just totally miss all that?
Yeah.
I mean, my read is that they form because that's when everyone's putting the marigolds out. at once.
Got
In the
it.
trailer,
Okay.
doesn't it say that they're only there for
Yeah,
the one
all
day?
right. So wait a minute. Maybe all these people that are working, maybe they don't have to work all the time. Maybe they're working because it's like a volunteer event. Like, it's the Day of the Dead, everybody, let's go. Like, and they're helping out for that. You think those are
all
their
that
own time?
paperwork? Yeah, that's not.
Well, it could be lined up for years. Maybe that's why they never upgraded.
But you wouldn't need people working in this departure re-entry building if there's only open one day of the year, right?
Yeah, it'd be kind of
Right.
sad
You
if
need
you had to
existing
be.
staff. Or I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Good
All
point.
right. All right. So Bobby Swift fan has brought this up a couple times. Do you think Coco will fit in between Brave and the Incredibles as far as in the Pixar theory for where Brave took place in the 14th to 15th century, so the Day of the Dead was in the 16th century? So there you go. You can think about that, Jay.
Yeah.
All right, because they have
There's not much
TV.
to go on. Everything looks
Right.
a lot older.
All right, so I'm going to share this. So this is an image from the back of the Art of Monsters Incorporated, just to show that sign that I was talking about.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so that was a Harley Jessup piece,
We love him.
and
Yeah.
he's involved in this, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. So there we go. A little bit of a connection, I think, there. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous scene. I love we talked about the departures, the re-entry. What I have so many questions. What happens if I don't come back? Is it like a Cinderella thing? Like I have a certain amount of time, and if not, something happens?
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good
There's
point.
got to be a time limit.
Oh gosh. So Eddie Chia, I'm loving this live stream. Thank you. I think we are too.
We're like geeking out over our little theories that we're all getting.
And then Sarah Robertson is already chiming in on the Pixar theory too. She said there weren't telephones in the 16th century, nor were there trains, so that's out.
Or TVs.
Or TVs. Miguel has a TV. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. What did I? On the entrance, there's a famous Aztec Mayan animal there called the Azalot. Oh boy, Azalotl. I'm gonna be so bad. Animal called animal. I took a look it up on Google. It's on the top left side. It's green and purple. That's this thing, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Oh, there you go.
All right, let's look this thing up because now I'm curious. It's green and purple. Okay, go back here.
You go to Disney World, we're going to probably buy some of these. Oh, yeah.
Oh, an axolotl.
There you go. It is kind of like that. It's probably just another one of those forms of the. Actually, I'm not.
I actually read an article on one of those not too long ago because they said how happy it looked.
Oh yeah, here.
Like it was like the happiest looking animal.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, they're
wow.
they're real animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the one playing the piano. That's great.
All right, perfect. Let's do this. It's Giphy. It's going to be animated.
No, let's go back to the trailer.
All right, fine. Sounds like a plan. All right, let me get back here. Go back to the trailer real quick, and we'll go roll through the rest of this. Okay, so yes, hey, maybe not at 10 times speed.
Yeah. Well,
So he's got his family here. We've got the arrivals. Then we go in, and we've got this ultra-friendly guy here behind the desk. I tried so hard to see what was on this calendar.
Yeah.
you know what's not on the calendar is numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's just blank spaces.
Now, wait a minute. Unless they're super tiny in the upper left.
Well, no, there's one. There's one date.
Yeah, just the one date that's circled.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm curious. This is coming out in November of this year, and where that would be circled is on Wednesday the 1st, November 1st.
That's the day of
The day of the.
holiday.
Exactly. So there you go. It's according to the 2017 calendar, that is in line with the Wednesday position, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of November 1st. That's pretty cool.
Easter egg.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, this super friendly guy. good and great animation here as far as these characters.
The
and-
twins, look how like scared.
Yeah, just so timid.
Really nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing, just this guy.
Yeah.
Bring. His
His
ears
ears.
shaking.
Oh, from the hood. So is this, you think this is before the Department of Family Reunions, though? Because they're still at the bridge.
Yeah.
Right, and it's almost
They've already
like
been like reunited somehow.
I don't know. I wonder if he couldn't go back and now they have to figure out something else. Because here, go back.
which-
Because the other grandmother isn't with them, who was holding
Mhm.
the magical marigold petal.
Okay.
True.
So I think this is before.
Okay. Okay. And Blacindy wanted a shout out, so
And I do like this gag.
I do too.
Well, it's actually very, like, if you think about it, it's actually kind of like the Toy Story of Terror, where the Pez cat
Pez
pukes
cat,
out the
yeah.
Pez.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but yeah, just how it falls and then bounces and
Mhm.
jitters on the desk there.
And again, the material, and the phone and
Yes.
just all that attention to.
Yeah, like the phone is not fully shiny. It's like it's seen its days.
And the same with
Yeah.
the desk. If you look at the desk,
Yes, the
it's
scratches.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're still doing like stamps, like it's stamping a passport or something.
Right.
Oh, and that's the kit and caboodle there.
There you go.
All right, so that's the roll through the trailer. As far as the trailer itself, obviously you're experiencing it now, but if you're going to go see Cars 3 on the 16th, when that hits, this is going to be in front of that. So keep an eye out for that as well. It'd be great to see it on the big screen.
Mhm.
Let's see, what other thoughts did we have here? Obviously, I mentioned. Oh, let's just show the other Easter egg that we had spotted earlier today, which was. Turn this volume down again here. So just in the middle, we get to see the brand new trailer, and then this right here, where they turn around. It's the Bureau of Family Grievances now. So there's lots of places that you can go, and it says A113 on the door there.
Nice.
So the famed A113 has made an appearance. We've seen Nemo. We've found Nemo. I know, right? Sorry, had to do it. So once every year, the ancestors come back to the world. Okay, you guys want to talk about some of the vocal cast?
Sure.
I'll take that as a yes.
I don't know who they are, so go.
All right, so Anthony Gonzalez. So this is from the Land of the Living. Lends his voice to Miguel, so we've known that before. 12-year-old aspiring musician who struggles against his family's generational ban on music. When a magical mishap lands him in the land of the dead, Miguel seeks out his idol Ernesto De La Cruz to help him return to the land of the living. He seeks out Ernesto De La Cruz to help him return to the land of the living before it's too late. So that's an interesting thing. And if you're watching this by now and you haven't realized, some of this stuff is spoilery. I mean, it was officially released via Pixar. We're not revealing anything, but in case you're totally avoiding. So Anna, Ophelia, oh gosh, Maria. I'm gonna frankly admit that I don't know it all. So laugh if you'd like. So voices Miguel's cherished great grandmother, Mama Coco. She's very old and fragile, but that doesn't stop Miguel from sharing his daily adventures with her. So we had talked about before when he's playing guitar in the attic. Like, who does he have? Is it an uncle? Is it somebody that's allowing this to happen? So is it her that's allowing this to happen?
Could be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that would be interesting because she's the great grandmother and the great great grandmother. So her own mother, she would be going against this family ban of music on. So Renee Victor provides the authoritative voice of Abuelita, Miguel's grandmother. an ultimate enforcer of the Rivera family's ban on music. Oh, so she's the ultimate enforcer. So she takes it the most seriously of everybody else. She loves her family very much and will do anything to protect them. But when she gets angry, she wields a mean slipper. So get ready.
So do you think that was the woman in purple?
She's from the land of the living.
Oh, gosh.
So this is in this section. So no.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm feeling like that's an aunt or just some lady potentially. Yeah. So Jaime Camil, let's see, is the voice of Papa, Miguel's supportive father, who hopes that someday Miguel will join him in the family shoemaking business. Sofia Espinosa provides the voice of Miguel's loving mama, who gently encourages her son to embrace the family's traditions. So she's going to be the supportive mom that's like, just consider shoemaking. Make your father happy, probably. Kind of like, let's kind of go along with this. Now it says encourages him to embrace the family's traditions. Does that mean that she's potentially the one that the tradition of music is in the family, that she's gently supporting that way?
Yeah, that's kind of what I took it as when you read it.
Okay. Luis Valdez is the voice of Tio Berto, Miguel's uncle, a hard worker in the Rivera family shoemaking business. And then Lombardo Boyar lends his voice to a friendly mariachi who Miguel encounters in Santa Cecilia Plaza. So we know he definitely is going to meet somebody in the land of the living there. And maybe that mariachi is the one that gives him maybe a hint of how to get into the guitar or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So from the land of the dead, Gael Garcia Bernal helps bring life to Hector, a charming trickster in the land of the dead who is forced to enlist help from Miguel to visit the land of the living. So he's forced to enlist help from Miguel to visit the land of the living. So he wants to go back to the land of the living.
See, that makes it seem like he could be responsible for Miguel.
And he's a trickster.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe he's leaving the trail of pedals to the guitar.
Interesting.
I don't know how he would do that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a good thought. So Benjamin Bratt, we knew, was the voice of Miguel's idol Ernesto De La Cruz, the most famous musician in the history of Mexico, revered by fans worldwide until his untimely death. The charming and charismatic musician is even more beloved in the land of the dead. Even more beloved. Holy cow. Because we already saw how famous he was in the land of the living with all those idols, and he's got this giant temple for him. So obviously he was well loved. So Edward James Olmos lends his voice to Chicarron, a curmudgeonly friend of Hector's who is sadly being forgotten, an unfortunate condition in the land of the dead. So you don't want to be forgotten.
Oh, that's right. We knew about that.
Correct. But it's an unfortunate condition. So does it mean that you're essentially just, if you don't have somebody to remember you, are you just gone forever?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Right.
Little bing bong-ish.
Oh, don't even go there. I'll start crying again.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Elena Ubach provides the voice of Mama Imelda, Miguel's great-great-grandmother, the matriarch of the Rivera family and the founder of their successful shoemaking business. Miguel meets Mama Imelda in the land of the dead and discovers she does not share his passion for music.
Lady in the Purple.
That's a possibility. Miguel, what are you doing here? Or what is happening? What's going on? I feel like she's going to be represented as older, though, to help us know, just to help us keep track of the fact that she's the great-great-grandmother.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Maybe she was the woman in the pink with the sash.
I feel like she's even older. I feel like we have not seen her, and I feel like they're going to keep her as a total surprise. She's going to be the bing bong.
She's the bing bong.
Yeah.
She's the hidden surprise, I think. So Celine Luna Voices Tia Rosita, Miguel's late aunt who resides in the land of the dead.
Lady in the Purple.
Lady in the Purple.
There you go.
Julie's just going to keep saying Lady in the Purple until she hits one.
So just agree with her. Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. I actually think that was my first thought, is that she's an aunt of some sort. So Alfonso Areu is the voice of Papa Julio, Miguel's late great-grandfather, who he meets in the land of the dead. So great-grandfather now. So I love the fact that we're going to meet all of these different layers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need a family tree or something.
I know, right? It's
made
gonna
up.
Need like a notebook. To
I already
write 'em
thought
all
about it.
down.
I already thought about it once we seriously get images of everybody, and I wouldn't be surprised if Pixar already creates a graphic of this, but there needs to be a family tree for sure. So if somebody else doesn't create one, we're creating one. So Herbert Siguenza lends his voice to both Tio Oscar and Tio Felipe, Miguel's late identical twin uncles, who he meets in the land of the dead.
Mhm.
And I like the fact that it's one person voicing them, because then you're like tuck and roll, because wasn't that both Andrew Stanton?
You're fired.
Yeah. Octavio Solis is the voice of a rival agent in the land of the dead's Grand Central Station. Gabriel Iglesias provides the voice of head clerk in the land of the dead's Department of Family Reunions.
And I think he's going to be funny because he's a
Oh.
comedian.
Probably.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheech
I like
Marin,
him.
Cheech Marin making his return for the fourth time in a Pixar film, correct? So Cars 1, 2, 3, and then Coco.
Yeah.
Unless he was in something else.
I'm.
So he's the voice of a corrections officer in the land of the dead. And then Blanca Araceli is the voice of MC, EMCEE. So it's as if instead of being the MC, it sounds like that's his name. Voices the MC
Mhm.
for a colorful talent
Like
show in the land of the dead. So that's so we can anticipate that there's going to be some type of.
Talent show. Says it right there.
But I'm just thinking about, like, from Miguel's standpoint, like, he's going to probably be able to finally unleash and let out his passion fully
And
for music.
Play.
Right.
But is that going to be the moment when, I just had this too. Is that going to be the moment that he meets Ernesto? Like, he's playing and then Ernesto's like drawn to come see him. Like, who is this kid that's playing so good?
And then maybe he has to play in the talent show to get sent back.
That's something with that. Has to be something with that
Yeah, I don't
flower
know.
petal, right?
I don't know. November.
November.
Ugh.
That's a long time, especially because now I'm all excited for this, and then Cars 3 is coming out next week.
I mean, we get 2 in 1 year, though. It's pretty exciting.
That is very
Yeah.
exciting. That is very exciting. So let's see. We talked about that this is going to be in theaters. If for some reason anybody wants to check out any of the official screenshots, there was a couple additional screenshots that were released. Let me just go ahead and show those real quick. I'm going to show the poster that was revealed.
That is just
That was an
amazing.
awesome poster.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let me go back here and make sure. I got all these windows. So yeah, the poster is amazing. Then
Even in the poster, he's got the De La Cruz guitar in the land of the living.
yes.
Or is that the one that he made?
Well,
Yeah, that's a good question. You'd have to zoom in on it. I think his was a little smaller though. This one
Okay.
looks like it's encompassing. I did look at this because somebody else said he looks like he's like a teenager here.
It
'cause
looks
he's
like
taller.
yeah.
he does look taller.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the angle a little bit.
Mhm.
But I think that based on the size, because I kind of looked at when he's playing the guitar in his mausoleum, and it kind of encompasses his whole body like that. So I feel like it is probably the proper size. It's just the angle. And then he would be wearing the exact same clothes as an older person too.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I think he's still the same age.
I do too. It's
Yeah.
just
But then obviously then you've got,
the family, Hector and
yeah, probably Hector, and then maybe his aunt over here again, the lady in the purple. And then they also just released, right with the trailer tonight, which was kind of cool. They released this image, and you see this one where they have the something to declare.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so just really cool shot here. And what is over here on the left? Is this money?
No, I think it's just paperwork.
Yeah, I think it's
paperwork.
Just paperwork. All right. Yeah, enough with the paper.
Right.
All right. All right. So, what other thoughts do we have? What other closing thoughts do we have? Anything else as to finalize?
Oh man, let's see if we left anything out here.
Yeah. So the Proud Foxes. While you're looking over those, the Proud Fox in the chat is saying that the poster looked visually stunning for some reason. He thought Miguel looked a little bit older there as well. Kanye Bedford, the water is beautiful. And then Sarah Robertson is saying what that paperwork was is maybe it's like phone books. And then the Proud Fox is saying, I may have missed this, but what does the orange flower represent? So the orange flowers are marigold flowers, and they are used commonly in the actual Day of the Dead. And
folklore has it that the deceased past or the deceased loved ones will find their way to you with marigolds.
Correct. And then
they also keep away mosquitoes, according to an article I read.
There you go.
Keep away mosquitoes? Yeah. Perfect. Let's get a whole bunch.
Yeah, I better get a ton.
Yeah.
Bobby Swift fan is saying, will there be Coco merchandise in a video game? There absolutely is going to be merchandise. You can count on that.
Yeah.
I think it could actually be, there's going to be some good plush, I think, with that one. Some really good plush toys. Will there be a video game? Interesting. I don't know if there'll be a video game for that. Probably not.
I think like an app.
An app, I could see an app. I don't know that there'll be a whole thing.
And Tsum Tsums.
Right. Yeah, for sure. There'll be Tsums on these for sure. So somebody else is actually also saying, if you go back to the Nemo scene, there's a portrait of a lady there, and she looks like the lady in the picture that you guys just showed. Okay.
Yeah, the one in the pink with the sash.
Mm-hmm. And then Sarah Robertson is saying, don't forget, because we did say at the beginning we were going to talk about this, similarities between Book of Life and Coco. We talked a little bit about that on our last one, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But because we ended up watching it again before the last trailer in March came out, and there really weren't that many similarities. In fact, we break it down a ton in there, so we'll have to kind of defer to that. But whereas the Book of Life was a story about, again, the music element of it was there for sure, but it was really more of this love story, and a love triangle, and the battle between two guys trying to win one girl's heart with that ultimate medal and everything. So yes, it is set in the Day of the Dead as what we landed on. It's set in the Day of the Dead. It has a musical element, which is kind of goes along with the celebration of the event. And then traveling to the land of the dead. But it really doesn't have this whole back and forth. There's not a love story attached to it. The other one was very stylized. This is still stylized, but it's much more realistic. The other one was like more of an art piece in that sense. And then the vocal cast was definitely definitely not all Latino. They weren't keeping it true in that regard. It certainly had a Latino director and some writers on it, but the story was much more directors. Yeah. But the story didn't seem anything like what I'm seeing here. I don't know if anybody else is feeling like this, but yeah, I
think it's too different.
Yeah. Somebody is asking a little off the cuff, but yeah. So as we're kind of letting the video kind of catch up with some of the comments, what are your guys' thoughts on that in the chat too? I personally, again, don't think it is. There's too far and few between of similarities in my mind to really make it feel like it's a ripoff, as some people have said. Jeff or Jay, have you guys seen Book of the Dead? Book of Life?
I've not seen Book of Life, but I mean, I'm not really concerned about being any sort of ripoff or anything. It's like, I think you even said this last time, it's like it's like saying any Christmas movie is a ripoff of any other Christmas movie. It's just it just so happens that there are the first two movies that have come out about this holiday in quick succession are both like animated. But like the fact that there's skeletons and stuff, like there's no avoiding that with this holiday. It's like such a part of it.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, the story doesn't sound the same. It's good. The art can look similar because that's just how the holiday looks.
It's following the tradition of that art.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And they're too stylized. They're different
Yeah,
stylized.
yeah. They don't look the same next to each other. I
Yeah.
mean, even the music, it's like, yeah, that's a part of the holiday. So
Yeah.
Yep. So Pixar Freak is giving us a trivia question. What other Pixar film? Because in the Mother's Day teaser that we had for this, we saw a cross or Catholicism mentioned. What is another movie that has that, like a cross scene in it directly?
Cars 2?
Ooh, I think there is something in Cars 2 because of the Pope.
The Pope, yeah.
Yeah.
The Pope Mobile. So Pixar Freak, you can let us know that. And then actually somebody's coming, Lexi James is circling back. How did the dog get into the land of the dead if he wasn't in the mausoleum or any type of grave with Miguel? So yeah, we're going to have to see. Maybe he happened to stumble into or chase after Miguel in the mausoleum when he strummed it and that pulled him there. Maybe he just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Dante is Hector. No, that's not it.
Yeah, interesting though.
I saw someone ask if we were going to D23.
Yeah, that was earlier.
Yeah. Well, we were planning on
We
it.
would like to. It's just a matter of funds.
Yeah. Our air conditioning and furnace took a big kaput.
Oh boy.
That was-
Isn't that convenient?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite the
So that
expense.
replaced the trip. So sorry,
that's-
everybody.
Our D23 is
Yeah.
keeping this house a good temperature right now.
Coming into summer, you can't not have that.
No.
Um,
I bet you thought about it though for a while.
Yeah, we did.
for sure.
Maybe we don't need air conditioning.
Yeah, we stretched it because the air conditioning.
The air conditioner actually died last July.
It was August.
Wow.
Oh, August.
Yeah.
So
So we let it at the end of the summer there because it gets colder pretty quick in Michigan. So so anyways, yeah, that replaced that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we might be coming up with, and we've talked about it forever, some type of Patreon page where we get support so that way we can go to more of those live events. So it might be something that's coming. So Ashley Gettings is the one that asked that before. So she's planning on going. I hope you guys are able to make it. We hope so too. The other scene that Pixar Freak was talking about, as he said, I think it was in the scene with Carl in the funeral, but I think Jay is right that the Pope had something that we may have seen there. And Ashley says air conditioning is very important.
well, The Incredibles is. Did you see the cross like when they were getting married?
Yeah, they're getting married, and I'm thinking of
Ooh.
it.
And then what about when Ellie? I don't think you see a cross or anything.
Oh, when they're getting married before she even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somebody, Isael saying, I think Miguel's replica of the guitar is destroyed by his abuelita because it's shown in the earlier teaser poster in the banner. Just a thought.
Oh, and the
In one of the
banner.
Picado banners that it's like a broken guitar.
I think she's trying to grab it away.
Okay.
Is
Interesting.
it broken?
Oh yeah, is it up in one
No,
of those
it's
banners?
just she's just holding it.
Okay.
So
So
he has a guitar when he's with Hector.
he has a guitar when he's with Hector.
Mhm.
Okay. The Epic Norwal, thank you. He said he loves us, and we're amazing. We think you're amazing too. And then somebody asked us if we're going to be doing this after Cars 3. Yeah, we're going to do a Cars 3 discussion as well to kind of break down some of the movie. We're going to talk about whatever, if there's a final trailer that might pop up before this hits. I don't know. We'll be doing
Lots
that.
of clips coming out. Whoa.
Yeah, lots of
Cars
stuff.
3.
Coming soon too, we're going to obviously be learning about what the short film is in front of Coco.
I can't wait.
So that's going to be coming up. We're going to have to talk more about Lou because you guys are going to absolutely love it because we got to see that when we were out at Pixar. It's a great short film.
And
for
I'm
sure.
doing something for Lou, something interesting, something DIY that's pretty cool. It's working out pretty well.
Yeah,
I haven't even told you.
I don't know any of this stuff that's going on.
I guess we don't.
I just live here.
Yeah. I guess we don't talk.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps everything up. What do you think?
Mhm.
Good? Jay?
I'm good.
Jeff?
Very good. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So I think that about wraps it up. Of course, if you guys have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Feel free to send us an email, info@pixarpost.com. Tag us on any of our social medias. Twitter is @thepixarpost. You can comment on this video. Again, remember, when this will go from the live hangout to actual YouTube, the live chat will not transfer over. So any additional comments that you have, feel free to add them in the video that's over there. And of course, we're on every other social media channel that's out there: Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. You can find them all at our website, pixarpost.com. And just a final sign off again, if for Jeff, a fantastic site again. If anybody wants to know more about the history, just kind of like talking about anniversaries, birthdays of Pixarians, all sorts of different things, he touches on those, and he's a fantastic resource. So thank you again for coming on and chatting with us.
Yeah, it's been too long, so glad I was able to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we love your John Lasseter inspired Inside Out Ryan Spooner Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I do love it.
Yeah. Very jealous.
Yeah.
And actually, someone just asked us what our favorite shorts are. And I am actually wearing the shirt of my favorite Pixar short, which is Piper.
Oh, man, I was wondering what your shirt was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, there you go. I'll hold it here for a second. So Piper.
So it's Piper. There.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is my favorite short.
There you go.
Okay.
Mine is Presto.
Mine is Lava.
And I'd say For the Birds.
Oh, man. For the Birds. For the Birds is probably my number 2.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Partysaurus Rex. Dang it.
That's not a short. That's a
That's not
tune.
a short. Yeah.
Okay.
Tune.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put myself in the clear there by calling it a tune, but I still want to call it a short though, because it's still darn good.
Yeah.
All right. So I like that. And then somebody also, just out of curiosity, asked us about our podcast. Where do we do our podcast? We do it right here. It's with this microphone, and we both sit on either side of it, and we talk into it at the same time, and we look over the top of it at each other. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. And we usually do it at midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah. So a couple other people. Ashley Gettings is agreeing, by the way, with For the Birds. Proud Fox is saying Piper. Ashley Gettings, Blue Umbrella, throwing in there too. Another one that they like.
Yeah,
Pixar.
Probably my second.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. I like that. I like that the ones that you like the most are from some of the newer generation.
Wait, okay, so I'm going to derail for a minute because I don't think we've talked about like our favorite Pixar films with you two. So I'm going to know your top 3. Just pick 3 Pixar films that are your favorite features.
Monsters, Inc.
Okay.
Inside Out. Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Nice. I like it. You were just
Making up stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, man, we made a whole video about this. I'm trying to remember what I put in the out there. I know. I'm gonna. My top 5 changed around so much. I'm gonna say Incredibles, Wall-E, and Up.
Okay.
Incredibles, Wall-E, Up. All right. So you're all within a 2004 to 2009 time frame. So you're right in like the middle there. They hit their stride. They were rolling real good there. I like it. Gosh, what's
yours? Real quick.
Toy Story 2, Inside Out, Monsters Inc., Wall-E,
Yeah.
Ratatouille. Dang it, I can't do
The
it.
Incredibles. Yeah.
It's not even possible because number 1, Toy Story 2, number 2 is probably Inside Out. From there, it gets real foggy. Because right there, I would immediately go Monsters Inc., Incredibles, Ratatouille, right there, back to back.
Gosh, it is so hard.
Okay, so you just told me to do it quickly.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Okay, so I love MU. Love it. Good Dinosaur because it makes me cry the hardest out of any Pixar film.
Okay.
And I love Brave. But I love Wall-E is one of my favorite. And Toy Story.
Yeah.
It's hard. Those would probably be my top 5.
You can't see it, but there's right over there, right next to the other green guy, there's a little thing of Wall-E there. Got a little note from Andrew Stanton.
Well, that's cool.
A
little Wall-E pop vinyl right here.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think we have anything Wall-E in this room right now.
No, just the book probably. So a couple other people are saying
We have this guy.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
Forrest
How
Woodbush.
many Pixar things can I grab within reach? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple other people are saying their top favorites: Proud Fox, Finding Nemo, Ratatouille, Cars, Ashley Gettings. I love them all, but Cars 3, ha. Monsters Inc. is a second. Inside Out is a close third. Pixar Jedi, La Luna's a good one. Kanye Bedford, Lava had me tearing up. Captain Klepton, Up, Finding Nemo, Inside Out. We're getting a wide range here.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody talk about Bug's Life.
We have revisited Bug's Life, and it is a good
Oh
film.
my gosh.
My only gripe with Bug's Life, and I have one,
Oh, here we go.
is we are huge Seinfeld fans, and I only hear Elaine Bennis. That's my only gripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree with Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Princess
voicing
Ada.
Princess Ada. I do.
I love it.
that.
I still think the film's great. But when I hear it and I'm doing something else, I picture Elaine.
I hear
her
you.
dancing.
The little
Low kicks.
Yeah, we will take anybody up on a Seinfeld trivia right alongside a Pixar trivia any day.
Bring it on, guys. Bring it on.
Ooh, challenge accepted.
Oh my gosh, you really want
Or
to go
him,
there?
really.
I was so psychotic with it that I had a spreadsheet that I had printed when it was reruns, and I was checking I was highlighting everyone that I had seen, and I was like, because there was a time where like you could only VHS it wasn't even DVRs, and I had missed a couple episodes because I didn't set the VCR.
Oh man!
And so I had to wait on reruns to come all the way back around because they show them in like succession. So I had to like wait to finally get one. The very last one that I ever saw, because I had missed it originally, was the one where they go to the party store and it has the black and white cookie, and George is wearing the big puffy coat, and he knocks over all the wine. They got to go stand outside. They think they see Saddam Hussein. That was the very last one.
To the cookie, Elaine.
Look to the cookie.
All right, well, let's let Jonathan say where people can.
Oh yeah,
find
right. Sure. There's that.
him. Now that I've derailed us, sorry.
My name is Jonathan Carlin. I am one half of the Super Carlin Brothers. If you want to see my entire ranking of my top favorite Pixar films, I rank all of them on our channel. It's just called me, and so does my brother Ben. We rank. We compare lists. It's a good video, so if you want to look that up. We're on YouTube at Super Carlin Brothers, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jonkerlin, which is JONKERLIN.
Fantastic. So I would like to know, as your Seinfeld trivia question as we sign off, Jerry's father was in the raincoat business. What was the name of the raincoat that he invented?
The Executive.
Dang it, you're good. What was special about it?
Beltless raincoats.
Yes! I love it.
Well, we're going to sign off, and we're going to talk about Seinfeld.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off.
Oh!
Nice. Whoa.
Oh, I just ripped out my headphones. It's too good. Whew. Uh-oh. Did I derail us all together? Can you guys hear us?
you.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, signing off as usual, everybody.
As usual, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, as usual. I do it every time. Thanks again for everybody that has jumped on the chat. We had a lively conversation as always, so I do appreciate that. And be sure to stay tuned to PixarPost.com all week for the latest Pixar news. Bye-bye, everybody.